Ford has a better idea. As the news has been circulating of the rise in prices of EV batteries, there's been a lot of fuss lately in the hearts of the car makers. It's getting harder for them to make their EVs cheaper. Indeed, this is terrible news for the companies. Though, what about the CEO of Ford? Does he have a plan? Can he be able to make a cheaper EV? You're watching Tech Addicts, so let's see what measures the CEOs are willing to take. For the first time in a decade, the price of the batteries used in electric vehicles is on the rise, which is bad news for the automobile companies who are banking on the eventual demise of the internal combustion engine. According to a new analysis from Bloomberg NEF, this increase is the result of increased costs for battery materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. It is expected to have a minor effect on vehicle prices shortly. In all likelihood, this is only a speed bump. As more lithium production comes online in 2024, BNEF expects prices to fall. Automakers like GM and Ford, which are amidst a historical change, and startup EV manufacturers would all prefer that electric vehicles earn profits as quickly as possible. According to Andreas Breiter, an automotive associate at consultant McKinsey, the large spikes we observed in material prices make it considerably more difficult to construct an electric vehicle commercially. So now the auto industry is scrambling to lower its prices. The average price of a new electric vehicle in October was roughly $64,249 according to Kelley Blue Book, and car companies are well aware that they need to produce EVs at considerably lower prices for this to be a viable market. To begin, the automotive industry is making efforts to domesticate its battery supply, as most U.S. players have hitherto been dependent on foreign suppliers. Necessary tax subsidies are linked to domestically sourced EV materials and production, and this summer's climate bill is a significant driver of the effort to bring battery supply chains here. To take advantage of controlled thermal resources mining operations in California, GM inked a contract with the company. Regarding lithium, Ford is purchasing from Ioneer's Nevada mine. To lessen their reliance on expensive and in short supply lithium-ion batteries, automakers are also looking into other battery technologies. At a Deutsche Bank industry conference in June, Rivian CFO Claire McDonough said of battery costs, "Although we have encountered challenges, we also have the ability to continue to drive down our costs from both an engineering and design viewpoint." While this is happening, the auto industry is also developing recycling programs, as reintroducing the materials they use back into their supply chains can help save money that would otherwise be spent on brand new components. Unfortunately, there are issues with all the solutions being proposed. There needs to be a quick fix for creating reliable supply chains for electric vehicle batteries. The process of opening a lithium mine alone can take several years. There is also a lot of competition for limited battery resources, from established automakers to up-and-coming startups. There will be costs and benefits when deciding on a new battery combination for electric vehicles. Choosing one material over another may require making sacrifices in other areas, such as energy density, charging speed, and overall performance. In an effort to persuade customers that electric vehicles are as fun and practical as conventional automobiles, manufacturers would rather not. Prospective vehicle consumers shouldn't anticipate carmaker ideas to result in lower EV prices rapidly due to the various hurdles riddling the EV battery sector. The market for EVs is rapidly expanding. Despite the fact that electric motorcycles are currently dominating the market, electric automobiles are also making inroads. Tesla and Volkswagen are two of the market leaders in this area. Tesla, an electric car manufacturer, has dominated the market for several years. Volkswagen, a German automaker, is also launching a multi-model EV attack totaling more than $100 billion. Ford hopes to corner a significant portion of the electric vehicle market with the help of the Mustang Mach-E SUV and the F-150 Lightning electric pickup truck. For the third spot, Ford and General Motors, two legendary automakers and bitter competitors, are engaged in a heated competition. These two automakers have been around for almost a century, but they only recently entered the electric vehicle market. However, by 2025, Ford and GM both show signs of wanting to take a sizable chunk of the EV market. Ford is expected to unveil its EV plans soon. The renowned U.S. automaker plans to swiftly release various high-volume vehicles, including the F-150 Lightning. These models, essentially customized gas-powered cars, are the focus of the company's upcoming product rollout. Ford could benefit from this method regarding the rapid deployment of EVs for high-volume sales. Midway through this decade, the business plans to release a new line of electric SUVs and pickup trucks. Ford's also concentrating on increasing the number of plants capable of making electric vehicles. In contrast, by 2024, General Motors will have begun producing batteries through a joint venture with POSCO of South Korea. The automaker is laying the groundwork for a strategy that will go into full effect if prices come down and demand increases in the back half of this decade. Nevertheless, despite their best efforts, Ford and GM will likely remain well behind Tesla and Volkswagen in the EV market. Even though Ford and GM have made significant progress toward becoming the third largest EV manufacturer, they still face substantial obstacles. According to ADMIITED Forecast Solutions research, Stellantis may emerge as an unexpected third-place contender. Production of electric vehicles worldwide is predicted to reach 695,000 units for Ford in 2025 and 1.14 million units for GM in 2028, with Ford producing slightly more EVs than GM. According to the AFS study, Stellantis will overtake Ford to take third place. In addition, the data indicates that Tesla and Volkswagen will maintain their current ranks of first and second. By 2025, Tesla's worldwide production will have neared 1.5 million. In contrast, Volkswagen Group EV production is forecast to hit 1.45 million units in 2025 and rise to 1.9 million by 2028. The car company wants to deploy lithium iron phosphate or LFP batteries in some of its EVs, increase battery capacity, and shorten its supply chain as part of its $50 billion effort to scale its battery electric portfolio through 2026. Automakers' adoption of LFP batteries, cheaper cell chemistry, indicates their increasing competition for market dominance in the booming EV industry. Ford claims these changes will keep the company on target to produce 600,000 EVs by 2023 and 2 million by 2026. According to corporate representatives, 70% of the battery capacity required to reach the 2026 sales goal has been sourced. Though its electric vehicles are now powered by nickel cobalt manganese chemistry, or NCM, Ford has announced it will begin using LFP batteries. Analysts believe that LFP might facilitate the mainstream EV market as it is the more cost-effective option. Ford's Mustang Mach-E SUVs in North America will be equipped with LFP battery packs made by CATL, the world's largest battery provider. The F-150 Lightning pickup trucks will receive their packs in the beginning of 2024. LFP is more affordable than NCM, but aren't as powerful because they have a lower energy density. However, these standard range batteries offer consumers many years of operation with minimal loss of range after numerous charge cycles, so the chemistry behind two of Ford's most powerful models isn't so strange. Customers in the business sector who need to charge their vehicles frequently will gain from this. It was estimated that Ford could save 10 to 15% on battery material prices if it adopted LFP, and the automaker would be less reliant on precious metals like nickel and cobalt. Even though it has linked non-binding MOUs with lithium suppliers Liontown Resources and Rio Tinto, the corporation still needs to reveal how many of its EVs will employ LFP chemistry. Raw material. Executives have stated that when Ford ramps up EV production, the company will need to reimagine its supply chain by buying raw battery materials directly. Meanwhile, GM said it has inked some non-binding memorandums of understanding with mining partners of its own to secure a majority of its nickel needs until 2026. Is Toyota's battery solid state better than Ford's LFP? Well, to do a comparison, the energy density of LFP is lower than that of solid state, which is a drawback. The news is disappointing, especially for Ford, which was considering converting to LFP to eliminate the risk of fires in the event of an accident. Would the range be reduced if batteries contain less energy? Possibly, but what about solid state devices? It's light, charges rapidly, and stores a lot of energy. It's a secure technology with outcomes that are on par with LFPs in terms of safety, and it looks like a winner, at least to some extent. One can confidently boast about their solid-state technology. The lack of commercial viability is a shame, but this remains true. It not only is difficult to replicate this technology, but there are other factors at play as well. To conclude, LFP is far superior. Although it charges more slowly, it is quite reliable in any climate. Improvements to LFP are still in the works. Some people believe solid-state technology is a far-fetched fantasy that will never be realized. The next 5 years will reveal which technology is truly on top. Well, in a true sense, Ford, designed for living, engineered to last. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to like it and make sure you subscribe to our channel.